Step into the kingdom, baby. Raise a high, shimmy shy, shimmy shy. Me, I sure rather slide. We gon' get jiggy, gon' get 1, 2 steps to the kingdom. One, me, I sure rather slide. Move, groove, hit me. I got the moves, you gon' miss me. I got the moves, you gon' miss me. Rather slide. Move, groove, hit me. I got the moves, you gon' miss me. Yeah, I got the moves, you gon' miss me, you'll miss me. Yeah, I'll take 1, 2. I'll take 1, 2. I'll take 1, 2, 1, 2 steps to the kingdom. I'll take 1, 2 steps to the kingdom. I got the moves, I got the groove. Hold on, wait a minute, I got the move. Hold on, wait a minute, I got the grooves. Catch me getting jiggy, hitting it smooth. Yes, I love my father, sing for my father. Yes, I love my father, dance for my father. When I sing, I'm finna sing for my father. When I dance, I'm finna dance for my father. I should rather slide, move, groove, hit me. I got the moves, you gon' miss me. I got the moves, you gon' miss me. Rather slide, move, groove, hit me. I got the moves, you gon' miss me. Yeah, I got the moves, you gon' miss me, you'll miss me. Yeah, I'll take 1, 2. I'll take 1, 2. I'll take 1, 2, 1, 2 steps to the kingdom. I'll take 1, 2 steps to the kingdom. Go Judah, go Judah, hit your dance. Go Judah, go Levi, hit your dance. Go Levi, go Ephraim, go Manasseh, go Benjamin, hit your dance. Go Issachar, go Naphtali, go Reuben, hit your dance. Go Zebulon, go Asher, go Simeon, hit your dance. Go Gad, go Gad, go Gad, hit your dance. Praise a higher, praise a higher, praise a higher, with your dance. Praise a higher, praise a higher, praise a higher, with your dance. One y'all should rather slide, move, groove, hit me. I got the moves, you gon' miss me. I got the moves, you gon' miss me. Rather slide, move, groove, hit me. I got the moves, you gon' miss me. Yeah, I got the moves, you gon' miss me, you'll miss me. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Shalom, shalom, peace and blessings, family. I hope you guys enjoyed that nice melodic sound. That was, by the way, that was Yasharka out of the Vegas body. So shout out to the Hawk out there. Issachar, stand up. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So that was a beautiful rendition. It's called Kwam Yasharala Slide. I'll probably play it again a little later, but shout out to the family over there in Las Vegas doing their thing. All right, right. My thing is acting up, but yeah, we here for another edition. All praises be to the Most High. Man, how's everybody doing? And sorry for the late start. I got a new desk, and I had took everything apart, and I forgot to put everything back together as far as the audio equipment goes. But family, y'all know how I do it. If I'm coming in nice and clear, right? Like I ask you every week, please put a Kwam in the chat if I'm coming in nice and clear, brothers and sisters. Let's get this show started. Y'all see the title. We're going to talk about it today. I got the Zoom link up early. I already pinned it to the chat, right? Because I want to make this a conversation. Yeah, the title is Overcoming the Wiles of the Devil. And I know a lot of us got a lot of stories when it comes to overcoming the wiles of the devil, right? But if you guys can, please hit that like button. Let everybody know that I'm on, right? If you haven't done so, if it's your first time on this platform, welcome. Please subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications as well, too, right? Help this channel grow. Thank you. 1 second. All right. Yes. Okay, I see the qualms. And I'm coming in nice and clear. Everything is clear. Everything is good. All right, we're going to get right into it. Praise the Most High. So, once again, brothers and sisters, welcome back to the Born of Levi experience. I am your host, Deacon Hazak. And it's such a blessing and an honor to be before you guys, to be able to bring forth this word, right? This topic of discussion. Overcoming the wiles of the devil. We need to talk about that. Reason being because there's a lot of misinformation in the world, and I mean a lot. So we need to be grounded in what we believe, and another thing too, we need to praise the Most High that we're able to be grounded, that He's given us the eyes to see. But we're gonna talk about it. I got a video I'm gonna play. And I want to make this interactive. Let me start the Zoom, because yes, the Zoom link is out early. So I want to make this interactive because I want to hear from you, and I'm gonna pose the question a little later. But before I do that, I'm going right into some quick announcements, real quick. Okay, so this episode of the Born Levi Experience is brought to you by the Hebrew and Bible Academy, brothers and sisters. You don't want to miss out. We're heading into week 4, right? If I'm not mistaken, we're heading into week 4, and you can still enroll. The Academy's theme is making it through Jacob's trouble, with a whole list of brand new in-depth lessons. Right, identifying the Gentile nations, the final battle between Esau and Jacob. That's interesting. Identifying the cult within Christianity. And listen, it's not just Christianity. It's all of the religions, and we're going to discuss that today. So fitting for tonight's discussion. The truth about Mecca, the satanic rituals at the Kaaba, how Christ will guide us through Jacob's trouble, enduring through the 7 trumps, and the dark side of Islam, brothers and sisters. You don't want to miss out. historytimes.org if you want to enroll. And like I said, we're heading into week 4, and don't worry about it if you missed any lessons. The admin team will be able to send you all of the lessons that you've missed. Another quick announcement, right? As you guys already know, the GOCC Health Initiative, right? And I put this message out last week, so we're still taking resumes. So as I'll read this off to you, as we enter into these last days, access to doctors, nutritionists, and overall good health care will become more challenging. With that being said, it is our aim as a church to become more self-sufficient in the healthcare field. We are looking for qualified members to join us in this initiative in collaborating skills and information. If you are a doctor, a nurse, a holistic specialist, nutritionist, herbalist, or have skills and a background in healthcare and would like to join us in this initiative, please send your resume to gocchealth@gmail.com. That's gocchealth@gmail.com. Yes, any healthcare professionals, if you are in the room right now, you're listening to this, you are needed, right? So if you would like to volunteer for the GOCC Health initiative, please send your resume to gocchealth@gmail.com. Also, one last thing, right? The first annual GOCC summit, right? Music summit, right? Tickets are live now for sale. Preferably, or more so for church members, so you guys get first preference. So guys, please, if you guys are coming out, buy your tickets, reasonable price for a 2-day event, mind you, right? You don't want to miss out. So you can visit the church website, for more information. I see something. Okay. Okay, I see our Miss Candy. Okay, you sending an email. Okay, praise the Most High. I believe so. I guess you are a health professional. Clap it up for you. You're a health professional. We need more of those, man. Man, I should have listened to my mom when she said you gonna be a doctor. She told me. How many of our parents did that when you was growing up? They was telling you what profession you was gonna be. Oh, praise the Most High, you're a nurse. All praises, all praises. You gonna be a nurse. You gonna be a doctor. No, you're gonna be a lawyer. What if I wanted to just be a basketball player? I can't be that, right? But yeah, I don't know. But being raised in a Levi household is either you're gonna be a doctor or a lawyer. That's the only two professions they know. And if you ask if doctors and lawyers run in our family, the answer is no. So, but you know, high hopes and high aspirations, and there's nothing wrong to dream big. It's not wrong to do that. You know what I'm saying? But the Most High had other plans, right? You gotta love our parents for that. But praise the Most High once again. We are here for another edition of the Born in Levi Experience. I want to give all praises to the Most High, Ahaya, in the name of his son Yeshua, our Lord, our Savior, and our King, right? And I want to talk about this topic tonight. And like I said, I put the Zoom link out. Did I start? I didn't start the Zoom. Let me start the Zoom because I want to make this more interactive, because I really want to know how, and well, the question I'm going to pose is I really want to know, how was the Most High able to help you overcome the wiles of the devil? So now, when I say the wiles of the devil, what am I talking about? Because the devil have a lot of ways to convince people, or I'm sorry, the devil has a lot of ways of bringing confusion, and the word devil just means a deceiver, right? We got the main devil, Satan himself, Lucifer. Then we got other devils under him and his minions. They're all deceivers. So, but what I want to pinpoint is the wiles of religion. There's so many different religions on this earth. And some people may ask, what's the right religion to follow? And another thing that happens as well, because there's so much different religions, there's people out there who be like, you know what? Forget about the whole thing. I don't want nothing to do with religion. I don't want nothing to do with God. I'm just going to be a good person. How many of us know people like that? I know a couple. So I really want to have this conversation as far as overcoming the wiles of the devil. And for me, I'm going to start off with myself, how it was for me overcoming. And honestly, it's nothing that I really did so much. Of course, we all had a part to play in how we found the truth. But at the end of the day, there's only one reason why we're all here. Christ. Matter of fact, it's best that I read it rather than just saying it. Right? Brother and sister, hit that like button if you can. I'm in the book of John, right? John 15. Let me read this to you first, so you guys can understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. Right. So I'm in John 15, verse 14. And you guys could see it on your screen, right? So you guys could see it on your screen. Test, test, test. I'm coming in. I should be coming in nice and clear. Right? Just put a qualm one more time if I am. Somebody, anybody, just throw a qualm up in there if I'm coming in nice and clear. If I'm loud enough. All right, good. I just want to make sure that I'm coming in loud enough, right? All right, the water, the water. All right, so John 15 verse 16 reads, "Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he shall give it." But I want to key in on the first part when he said, "Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you." And what? And ordained you. So that's the part right there that I really want to harp on. Because it's not so much anything that we really did so much. Yeah, we had a desire, we were searching, we were looking for the Most High. But at the end of the day, Christ is who chose us. And you got to think about it like this, brothers and sisters. How many people is on this earth? They say what, like eight something billion? My math could be wrong. Somebody, if you know it, you could put it in the chat. But I'm gonna say like about 8 billion people in the world, right? About like 8 billion, right? Out of these 8 billion people, Christ handpicked you out of everybody that you've known. Out of your classmates, out of your family, or no matter what type of walk of life that you were walking in, Christ chose you. And that's what I really want to talk about. I want to talk about the walk of life that you guys were walking in, or, you know, if you choose to call the walk of life that you was walking in, and how the Most High had to steer you away from that and to bring you into this marvelous light that we understand. Right. So out of all these 8 billion, Judah Rouse says 7 billion on average. Okay, we'll say 7.5, 8 billion, right? I was close, right? So out of all of these 8 billion people that is on the face of this earth, can you imagine you falling into any of these other religions? Because a lot of these people is either you're a part of a religion or you're just an atheist. But majority of the earth believe that there's a God. It's only here in the western part of the world and some parts of Europe where a lot of people are atheists and they don't believe in a God. And there's a reason for that. But majority of the earth believe in some type of higher being, believe in some type of higher power. And it's evident that that a lot of people in this world, or a majority of the people in the world, believe that there is a higher power or a being above themselves, because of all of the different religions on this earth. And their religions are just is just their way of them trying to connect to that higher being who they believe is a God. Whether they are pagans and they believe in multiple gods, or they're monotheistic, and believe in one God. But all in all, they believe in a being that created them outside of themselves, outside of mankind. So these different religions on this earth shows you that people believe that there is a higher life form that they believe in, they call as a God. But now the question is, which God is the right God now? And you see, and this is where the confusion comes in, and this is where the devil can now play with the minds of the people and allow people to believe that there's a God, but you're not going to attribute your worship to the right God. You're going to attribute the worship to ultimately me, because there's only two gods. There's only two powers right now that's fighting for position on this earth. We know that. If you know, you know. Right? But we're going to talk about that. So I know for me, right? And a lot of you guys already know this, or already know this story about me. I was born and raised in a Christian church. I didn't leave the Christian church until I was about 25. I believe 25 or 26, one of the two. So, from when I was born up until my early adulthood life, I was a Christian. I was born and raised in a Christian church. And through my adult years, I started to really question the God that I was serving. I really wanted to know more things. I really wanted more answers. And I know a lot of you guys could say that there was a point in time where you guys wanted more answers. Hence why you're here. Some of you probably just didn't have any clue, and this just fell in your lap. Still, at the end of the day, praise the Most High for that. Right? So, I wanted more answers. Church hopping, listening to different preachers, hearing their understanding, buying certain religious books, see if I could get a deeper understanding outside of the Bible, which all along, all I needed was the Bible. But here's the thing, though. A lot of people are raised in their homes with a Bible on the mantle. Some people just have the Bible just open on a dashboard driving, and I to this day I don't understand. The Bible is just on the dashboard and you're driving. So the Bible open is going to protect you? Not reading the words? But that's how it was drilled into our mind, that the Bible is a holy book and it's good for protection. But not saying, okay, let me actually read the book so I could get protected. But anyways, right? So a lot of us had the Bible, whether in our homes, in our dashboard, in our car. You see it in the friend's house. But none of us really took the time to say, you know what, let me actually read it. Or matter of fact, let me have somebody teach me. Because it's not until I was taught, all praises be to the Most High, to the gathering of Christ Church. Right? All praise be to the Most High, to the gathering of Christ Church. Me finding Elder Ricard at my early stages of searching and just learning, like really relearning the Bible again. But interesting story, right? That I'm going to share with you guys. Around the time when I was waking up, or I was searching for truth, I was enrolled into this it was like a 10-month program. I was studying to be an electrician, right? So in that school, I met the brother who actually introduced me to the truth, right? His name is Daniel. I'll never forget that brother. His name is Daniel. What happened to him? It beats me. If you know what happened to Daniel, text me, right? Or let me know. And I met him, and then I also met other brothers in there. I met these two other brothers who were more so on the they were more so into conspiracies and black power. Hotep brothers, so to speak, if I could coin them that way. So I'm getting information from them. I'm getting information from my boy Daniel. But mind you, my foundation was I was a Christian. But I'm still listening to both sides. And what was so crazy is, I will never forget this. So one of the brothers, his name is Harry. I can't forget his name. His name was Harry. So, and what's crazy is he still hits me up to this day, that brother. Right? But anyways, so met this dude, Harry, and he was telling me about the hollow earth theory. And this is about 2011 or 12. Probably the end of 2011 going into 2012, right? So he tells me about the hollow earth theory. And I've never heard anything like that. Never heard anything about the hollow earth theory. And he started telling me, like, yeah, man, you never heard about that? There's an inner earth, and there's a whole land inside the earth, and there's a guy, look him up. When you go home, look him up. Admiral Byrd, look him up. So I'm like, all right, I'm thirsty for knowledge at that time. I'm looking. So I go and I search Admiral Byrd, and there was whole documentaries on him and how he traveled, into the inner earth, and he's seen places that no man have ever seen, and he's seen beings that, you know, told him to tell your government to stop doing these things. And I'm like, okay, this is crazy. Never heard anything like this before in my life. And as I'm doing the research on the hollow earth theory, in the midst of that, the book of Enoch pops up. So looking at it now, I understand that was the Most High, like redirecting my focus. Because as I'm searching online hollow earth theory, and I'm getting deeper and deeper, I'm watching different interviews after interviews, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. There could really be a hollow earth. Oh my gosh, this is wow. Right? So as I'm doing more research, and the more research I was doing, I stumbled upon the book of Enoch. And the reason why I stumbled upon the book of Enoch was being spoken of by there was this YouTube channel that I was watching, this YouTube video I was watching, and the guy was talking about hollow earth, but then he started giving a comparison of how a lot of the places that Admiral Byrd seen or claimed that he has traveled to sounds eerily similar to the places that Enoch seen when the angel took him. So I'm like, yo, Enoch, he's in the Bible. How come I never heard about this book of Enoch? And I'm a Christian, and so I Googled book of Enoch PDF, and I got the PDF, and I started reading, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Then I learned about the fallen angels and how they sin and demons and all of that. So when I came upon that book, and then once I found GOCC, and then I found Elder Ricard, and then he was teaching that, I'm like, yo, I was just reading that, and I was like, that's when I understood the Most High was confirming, all right, this is where I need you to be, right? But there was more stuff, that led to that, but that me going into the research of the hollow earth, which to me, I could classify that as one of the wiles of the devil because it's a rabbit hole. The reason why I'm saying it's a rabbit hole because where's the end of it? Where's the beginning of it? Who knows if it's true? Who knows if it's real or not? We can't confirm it in scripture, but for some reason everybody knows about the hollow earth theory. And that's why it's called the theory, the hollow earth theory, because it can't be proven. So I was falling into one of the wiles of the devil and being sucked in, and as I was being drawn away, the Most High sends a book that leads me back to him. So that's my example of how I was being led. I would say through theology, through a doctrine or an understanding. One of the wiles of the devil was trying to pull me away from the scriptures, and then the Most High had to reel me back in. So I want to hear from y'all too as well, if y'all had any examples of that. If y'all had any stories or any times that you could remember that you was heading in the wrong direction and the Most High sent a curveball and you kind of followed that direction, and he brought you right back to where he needed you to be. So that was my example. It all started with the hollow earth, right? Because nothing that they were telling me was moving me, right? Yo, we're original black man. Da, 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 da. If Christ wasn't the center of it, I'm like, yo, what you talking about? Even as a Christian. But when Satan threw that curveball, yeah, take that hollow earth theory. My mind just said, bloop. Oh, what's this? So I'm doing research, and it's being confirmed. There's interviews, and I'm hearing Admiral Byrd talk. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And the Most High had to redirect my focus. Sends me the book of Enoch. Boom. Then after that, shortly after that, boom. Found the truth. Right? So, found the truth. Right? 1 second. Right. So I found the truth. So I really want to hear from you guys. But before I do that, let me also read this. Let me read this. Because, matter of fact, before I even do that, let me just play the video. All right, let me get stuff together over here. Let me play a video. Matter of fact, before I play the video, I want to show this guy. Right? I'll just put his face on the screen. And along with all the different religions, as a matter of fact, I ain't gonna do that. Let me just play the video. And we'll just play the video first. So now, overcoming the wiles of the devil. And one of the wiles of the devil that I want to talk about is religion. All the many different religions that's here on this earth. So many different religions. You don't know what to believe. So this is one of Satan's main tools that he uses to confuse the masses about that there is a God. And two, to keep everybody separated. Because you know, all in all, we're all supposed to be following the same God, the creator of all things. But why not divide the people? Tell them that you're special. This is different. You're here. This God did this for you. Keep us all separated. So now I'm gonna play this video, and this video is very interesting. It's about 9 minutes, but I want to play it because I want you to hear what this guy has to say. Right? It's a very interesting video. It says, "What religion are you?" So the title of this video is "All Religions Explained in 10 Minutes." And I mean, matter of fact, let me not say nothing. I'm gonna just play it.
Why are there so many different religions? Well, it's because different religions are different answers to the biggest questions of life, so that's why people care so much about this. Question 1. Is there a God, and if so, how many? Some people don't believe in any gods or any kind of spirituality at all. These people are called atheists. Atheists don't necessarily believe God doesn't exist. Some of them simply lack a belief that God does exist.
So he's breaking down all the religions, and I like how he put the atheist first. Wait, hold on. Atheism is not a religion, is it not? It's a belief system. It's a belief that there is no God. So, yeah, atheists, you're a part of a religion called atheism.
So some are more agnostic about it, but generally atheists think we don't have any reason to believe in anything beyond the material universe. But some people who don't believe in God still believe in some kind of spirituality, and according to Buddhists, that spirituality should involve denying yourself. Here's why. Buddhism does not teach that Buddha was a god, nor did Buddha teach about any gods, but Buddha did teach about the ultimate red pill, which is that life is basically just suffering. At the root of suffering is desire. Those are the 4 noble truths. Number 1, life sucks. Number 2, life sucks because you want stuff. 3, if you stop wanting stuff, then your life won't suck. Number 4, there's a path you can take to not want stuff anymore. It's simple, really. The more you desire something, the more disappointed you're going to be when you don't get it. For example, the more you like a pretty girl, the more disappointed you're going to be when she rejects you. And she will. The more you love money, the more disappointed you're going to be when the economy crashes. And it will. You gotta stop being so attached to all these worldly pleasures. So you need to break that attachment by denying yourself, and then you can be spiritually free. Life is a cycle of pain, but if you eliminate your desire, you can free yourself from the entire cycle and achieve nirvana, which is...
Okay, so he's breaking down what Buddhists believe. And if you're a Buddhist, comment and let us know if he's telling the truth. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
True spiritual bliss. Now, some people want spiritual freedom but do not want to deny themselves. This kind of spirituality isn't about self-denial at all. It's about the opposite, self-affirmation. It doesn't like the submission involved in traditional religion, but still wants to have the spiritual meaning that traditional religion can provide. It's about the freedom to pave your own spiritual path.
If you have or
An ad, I'm sorry. I thought I got rid of these things. Hold on. 1 second, y'all.
So because it's all about spiritual libertarianism, it's not an organized religion, but it's a decentralized set of practices that are becoming increasingly popular among Westerners, particularly women. Now, some people believe in many gods, like some pagans and Hindus. The difference is that Hindus believe in reincarnation. Pagans are usually polytheists, which means they believe in many gods. The gods usually represent forces in nature. The sun, there's a god for that. The moon, there's a god for that. The sky, there's a god for that. The sea, there's a...
So the pagans just were like, you know what? Let's just create a god for everything. And what was it? The Hindus? He said the Hindus? Hold on, was it? No, not Hindus. He didn't go there yet. He went to the New Age. That New Age stuff. Self-affirmations, and it's all garbage. But let's continue.
a god for that. Your crops, there's a god for that. So because there's a god for every area of life, if you want to succeed in a certain area of life, you need to win the favor of that particular god.
So now even paganism is even more confusing, because I'm like, yo, if we're trying to find out if there's a god, y'all telling me that there's many different gods. So which one is the right one? So you just got to worship the one that you want to do stuff for you? Like, shouldn't there just be one god to do everything? I don't know.
And often different cultures have different versions of the same gods. Another thing is the gods of paganism are a lot more anthropomorphic or human-like than they are in other religions. The gods are a lot more powerful than humans, but they're still both finite. They're not all powerful. Just like humans, gods will fight each other, get drunk, reproduce, and make mistakes.
What? That sounds like the Roman pantheons, like the Roman gods. Like Zeus and them. Like they be the war of the gods and all that. Like, that's all garbage, though.
Okay, now do Hindus also believe in many gods? Well, it's kind of complicated, because there are indeed many gods in Hinduism, but there...
Look at this. Like, who would want to worship any one of these gods? I can't even say the first one. So, Saraswati? The only one I know here is Shiva. That's the one that they worship at CERN. And the rest of them, I don't even know. I'm sorry.
They're all part of the same ultimate reality. Hindus believe that the one ultimate reality encompasses everything, but it's received in many different ways. They believe there can be many incarnations of God or the gods, and that's why it's okay to worship idols, because the divine expresses itself through the physical.
See, off the back, we could already eliminate this, because our God says we're not supposed to worship idols. So, could this religion have been formed in defiance of that God?
This is why Hinduism has a more pluralistic approach. Instead of having a strict canon of what you must believe the way some religions do, Hinduism is more like a buffet where you can choose to believe what best suits you.
You pick and choose what you want to believe in Hinduism. See, I never knew that. You pick and choose. Well, this sounds good. I'm going to take this, but I'm not going to take that. I'm going to give up pork, but I'm not giving up the tree. What?
Because God can be received in different ways. Hinduism also believes that reality is a cycle.
And you heard that? In Hinduism, they believe that God can be received in different ways, which is also a lie. Well, according to us, because our book says, and Christ says, there's only one way to the Father. No man come to the Father but by me. So Hinduism is saying that there's many different ways to God. We don't believe that. So,
So that's why they believe in karma and reincarnation. They believe there's a hierarchy of life forms, and if you earn bad karma in this life, you'll move down the hierarchy in the next life. There's also a hierarchy of people, and if you earn good karma in this life, you can move up the hierarchy in the next life. So you could say Hindus are monotheist. The difference is they believe God is one with the universe rather than separate from it, which is similar to how Sikhs think of God. The difference is that Hindus worship idols and Sikhs do not. Sikhism strictly only believes in one God, but not in the way that Western religions do, because Western religions see God as something outside and external to the universe, whereas Sikhism would agree with Hinduism that God is one with the world, but unlike Hinduism, they do not think that that means we can worship idols. They see God as kind of an unknowable mystery, but they also believe that the gurus have been enlightened to teach us how to serve God, and that includes working for equality and justice. Western religions, on the other hand, do see God as separate from the universe, and deists don't even think God interacts with the universe at all. According to deism, God is outside the universe, and he sort of set the universe in motion, but doesn't act.
I don't know about y'all, but how many of y'all are even more confused? Like, what? And you see the confusion, and you see why I say that these are the wiles of the devil. Because a person could pick and choose any one of these and feel like they're on the right path to following the one true Most High God. And somebody who believes in one of these religions would look at me and say, "Oh yeah, who's to say that your God is the Most High God?"
Actually intervene in the natural course of events. So deism often compares God to a sort of clockmaker for the universe. Why do they believe this? Well, deists think that from reason alone we can figure out that God exists, but when it comes to divine revelation or supernatural miracles, then they're a lot more skeptical. So God exists but doesn't really care. But the Abrahamic religions believe God does care, and he does interact with the universe. Okay, so how exactly did he do that? Did God become human in Jesus? And if not, is Jesus still the Messiah? Judaism doesn't think so. Judaism is about God's relationship with the Jewish people. They believe they're God's chosen people, chosen by God to bless the world by helping people live rightly, and they believe God gave them the Torah to help them accomplish that. Okay.
So now he's speaking about Judaism. Now he's only speaking about one part of what they believe, right? But
how strictly do they follow the Torah? Well, it depends on who you ask. Some Jews follow the Torah really strictly, some of them follow it kind of strictly, and some of them don't follow it strictly.
So now, within Judaism in itself is a lot of confusion still. There's Orthodox Jews that follow the Torah very strictly. There's conservative Jews, or Jewish people, I should say, or Jewish, that sort of kind of follow the Torah. And there's the Reformed Jewish people who barely even believe in a God. They don't even follow the Torah. So now, why? What's the point of following this? What's the basic understanding? Because if you're following the one true God, shouldn't there be one understanding for all of the people under this umbrella? Confusion. Let's continue.
Strictly at all. They also believe in the coming of the Messiah, a Jewish superhero who's going to fix the whole world. The reason they don't believe Jesus was Messiah is because the world apparently hasn't been fixed yet, but they still...
This guy's funny. He said a Jewish superhero. That was funny. Look at the mascot.
believe it's their job to start fixing the world in preparation for when the Messiah does arrive. Now, Islam actually does believe Jesus was the Messiah, but still strictly not God. They believe he was a prophet, specifically a prophet of Islam, because they believe the same God gave different revelations to different prophets over the years, but these revelations gradually got corrupted, so God gave the final and perfect revelation to Muhammad in the...
So now, how could God give the final instruction to the Islamic people or to Islam in the Quran? When Islam is actually the newest found religion on earth, as far as age, it's the newest. Like all of the other religions was thousands of years before Islam even came about. So the newest religion on earth, the Most High God decides to give it to Islam or the Arabs. But y'all believe in Islam, but yet you still believe in Christ, or who y'all call Jesus. Y'all believe in Christ, but he wasn't the Messiah. He was just a prophet. Confusion.
Quran. They see Islam as the fulfillment of Christianity and Judaism. So they do believe Jesus was a very important prophet, they believe he was the promised Messiah, and they even believe he was born to a virgin, but they do not believe he was God, and they do not believe he rose from the dead. They believe that he didn't even die, God just made it appear that way.
What?
Muslims believe that the Quran is the direct word of God, it's flawless, it's eternal, and it's been perfectly preserved.
Confusion.
And it also says how to submit to God, and that's very important because the meaning of Islam is to submit. God is ruler of the entire universe, and all humans are called to submit to God. And eventually God is going to reward those who do good and punish those who do evil. And if you want to know how to do good by submitting to God, there's 5 big ways to do so. The biggest focus of Islam is the fact that there is only one God. There is nothing like God, and God is so pure and so far above the universe that God couldn't possibly become human. Christianity is very different, however, because it teaches God did become human. Christianity is all about Christ. Jesus is truly human just like the rest of us, but he's also truly God just like God the Father. And because he's truly human and truly God, he's the only one who can bridge the gap between.
Okay, so now he's breaking down the confusion of modern day Christianity. You and me, Jesus Christ, God the Father. And his breakdown of it sounds confusing to me. Like, but, people believe this the way he's breaking it down. Well, let me let him continue, and you guys see if you guys could decipher what he's saying.
Between humans and God, and there is a gap, because God is perfect, almighty, and eternal, whereas we humans are sinful, weak, and corrupted. But still, in his infinite love and mercy, God came down, became human, and died for our sins, and he rose from the dead, and eventually is going to raise the rest of us from the dead as well.
So God did not come down and become human. So
what's unique about Christianity is we don't actually have to be good enough for God, because God already did that for us when he became human and died for us.
And you see how they're explaining that with Christianity? And this is why Christians believe that they don't have to really follow the law, because he nailed it to the cross. That basically, that's what he just said without saying what I just said. Christians don't have to focus on being good because God came down and did it for us. What? So then what's the point of following if I can continue being a sinner, but I believe in Christ? That's going to save me? And that's what Christians believe. Christians believe that all you got to do is believe and say, forgive me for my sins. But then as soon as you leave church, you could go right to the strip club. You could go right and smoke weed and get drunk till you take your clothes off. You could sleep around with whoever you want to sleep around with in the church, but because Jesus paid it all. And see, and when you think about it, that's almost on the same lines of Hinduism. That's like a part of Hinduism in there. You because basically you just taking what you feel makes you feel good. I want to take this, but I'm going to leave that. No. I'm going to take the God of the New Testament, but the God of the Old Testament, I don't want him. When did he change? No. I'm going to still have all of this, all my shrimp, crab, and lobster, but you better pay your tithes. Sounds like Hinduism to me. I don't know what y'all think. Because in the Hinduism, we just learned that you just take what works for you. This works for me. I'm going to take that, but I'm going to leave that. That's part of Hinduism.
So we just need to be united to Christ, and then we can participate in God's eternal life.
Madness.
Okay, but how do we do that? For those who have faith in Christ, the Holy Spirit unites them to Christ, because the Holy Spirit is the Spirit of Christ, and he's also the Spirit of the Father. These 3 persons have relationships with one another, but they're still all the same being, so Christianity still only believes in one God. All of this is revealed in the Bible, which is the story about Jesus. Spoiler alert, Jesus wins in the end. He defeated death when he rose from the dead, and when he comes back, he's going to destroy all evil in the world and make the world perfect. Just like he united God and man, Jesus is also going to unite heaven and earth. So all these religions teach very different things. Some people try and respect all religions by saying they're all basically teaching the same thing, but this actually disrespects all religions by discarding the uniqueness of their claims. The truth is that religion raises the biggest questions of life that everyone needs.
All right, so that's it on that. So, now do you see the confusion and why it's important to cast down all these different imaginations? Why we need to overcome the wiles of the devil? Because if you don't, you're going to fall into one of these religions. One of those religions that basically is telling you you could do how. A lot of them is just basically telling you could do what you want to do. That's what people want to hear. And it's crazy how similar being a Hindu and being in modern day Christianity is sort of similar in the aspect. Instead of, minus the worshiping of different idols. I mean, they're still worshiping idols without seeing the idols. That's the crazy part. But it's crazy how similar Hinduism, the tenets, certain tenets of Hinduism, is shrouded in Christianity. That's crazy. But now that I got that out the way, right? Wrong mouse. So now somebody may ask. Matter of fact, let me. All right. Let me bring up this scripture real quick. We're gonna do some reading real quick, and I'll open up the lines, and we'll have a conversation. So I really wanted to play that video. That video was very interesting. I think he did a fairly good job breaking down all of these religions. I mean, it just gives me a greater sense of saying to myself, "Whoa, praise the Most High that I dodged the bullet on all of those religions, every single last one of them." All right, so I'm in 2 Corinthians. Yep, 2 Corinthians 10 and 5. Look at this. So it says here, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. So the first thing that we got to do and we got to understand is that we have to cast down every imagination that exalts itself above God. And now somebody may say, which God? Which God? Because we just found out there's so many different gods. Hindu had so many different gods. I couldn't even recite their names. Are you talking about that one? No. I'm talking about the God of the Bible. Right? And here it goes. And mind you, the key thing it said here in the scripture, it says here is anything that what? Exalts itself above the knowledge of God. So now somebody might say, how do we find the knowledge of God? Because if we leave it to the pagans, if we leave it to all the different religions, they all have knowledge, and I get that too. A lot of their sayings and their belief systems, it may sound like it's making you feel like a good person. But all of that adoration and worship, who is it geared to? Who is it turning you to? Right? Look at this scripture right here. first and foremost, I'm going to Isaiah. Look at the scripture right here, guys. Isaiah 34:16. Y'all should know this. So the first thing one must do seek ye out of the book of the Lord and what? And read. It says seek ye out of the book of the Lord. So now somebody might say, what is the book of the Lord? The Holy Bible. Right? Because they could give you all their books, but what is the sayings in their book? What is it leading you to? Because I could show you in our book, or God could show you, or the Most High could show you, where worshiping an idol is against him. So if these different religions, majority of the I could say all of the religions that was named on this let me put it here. All of these religions right here, if you take a look at them, all of them is attached to some type of deity or an idol. Paganism, bear idols. Hinduism, idols. Muslim, idols. The Kaaba stone, satanic. Look at this. Even down to this symbol, the Jewish 6-pointed star, an idol. Christianity, look at that, the cross, an idol. New Age, whatever this hand thing is, idol. Buddhists, they got the big Buddha with the belly thing, idol. Atheists, science is your idol. And I'm gonna talk about science just now. So now we could look, I could show you in our book where it said, because we just read, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. When you seek out of our book tells us, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image of any likeness that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. So our book, our God tells us not to have an idol, not to create an image for him. But these different religions have an image for their God, or have a symbol for their God. And our God, he said don't do that. And it's sad because Christianity, right? They using the same book that we're using, but yet their doctrine is completely different. Because you know why? They're not doing this. They're not seeking out of the book of the Lord and reading. They're not even really reading the book. That's the sad part. Again, the scripture says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, meaning none of the words, none of the prophecies, none of the sayings, none of the laws shall ever fail. None shall want her mate, meaning the wisdom that you will get from this book. There's no other religion, no other book on this earth that can ever compare to that book, to our book. It says, for what? For my mouth it hath commanded. So all of the words that's in our book is from the mouth of the Most High. The Most High has given those words to holy men, separate men, sanctified men, to write and to compile the scrolls that we have that's now called the Bible. It says, for my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. Whose spirit? Christ's spirit. Remember we read earlier, you have not chosen me, I have chosen you. There's a precept for that. See that? It was Christ's spirit who gathered us and who drew us back to the Most High's words. Right? Not just that. So now some people might say, so then why? So if this book is the book and it's the only way, why did God now, or why are all the nations on this earth, or all the people on the earth, not following this God? That's a great question. And here's an answer simply. Let's go to the book of Psalm. And thank you, brothers and sisters, for coming in. Also, continue to hit that like button if you can. I greatly appreciate it. So, this is gonna be a headache. All right, so I'm in Psalms. There gotta be a better way for me to do this. It has to be Psalms 147, right? I'm sorry, I'm still clicking. I'm sorry. I want to put it on the screen for you guys. And this is taken away from the spirit of what I want to bring forth. But let me get there real quick. I do apologize. So Psalms 147 and verse 19. So some of you might ask, so if our book is the way, why haven't he not or why haven't all of the other nations of this earth not followed him and created their own religions? Simple. Psalms 147 and 18, it said, I'm going to start at verse 19. It says, he showeth his word unto Jacob. Now, who is Jacob? Jacob is synonymous with the 12 tribes of Israel. All of the sons of Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons. The 12 sons had children, and those children became the 12 tribes of Israel, whom we descend. Right? So now it says, he showeth his word unto Jacob. So the Most High did not show his word unto East Indians. He didn't show his word unto Arabs. He didn't show his word unto Edom or the Caucasian race. He didn't show his word unto Ham, right? North Africans. He gave it to Jacob, right? His statutes and his judgments unto Israel. So if we're gonna pinpoint what's happening, we could say that the God of the universe, or the God of all creation, chose one group of people to understand his word. Not just to understand it, but to teach it and to give the full understanding, so that way what? Everybody else could have it. But verse 20 says, he have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. So now we can say by process of elimination, or just by looking at what's happening with all these different religions here, now I can see why all of these different nations created these different religions, because they didn't have a source to find that right and true God. They didn't have a source. We were their source, Jacob. But unfortunately for the world, Jacob have went into captivity for disobedience. But guess what? Jacob is back. Jacob is back, and this is the reason why we can decipher and we can say that all of these religions on the screen are wiles of the devil. Because by process of elimination, I can go into the book of the Lord and I can cross off every religion that we just seen here on the screen. How? Just by using the word of God. Just by going into the Bible. And by one by one, I can cross out each and every one of these religions. So that way I can say to myself, you know what? None of these religions and none of these gods can match up to the God that I'm reading in this book. How is that possible? Because we got the right and true God. We found him. Right? So through process of elimination, if we use the word of God, we understand and we know which God is which and how to overcome the wiles of the devil. Because like I said, all these religions is just to throw you off. All of it. Look, matter of fact, I wasn't going to read this, but let me read this too. I might as well just read this since I'm already here. I'm in the book of Revelations. Excuse me. The book of Revelations, right? Revelation chapter 12. Look at this, guys. Just to show you guys how Satan was able to do this. All right. So I'm in Revelations 12 and 9. So it says, and the great dragon was cast out. Right? Who's that? That old serpent called what? The devil and Satan. Wait, hold on. What he does? Which deceiveth the whole earth. Now we can see how he's able to deceive the whole earth. Yes, all of these religions on your screen right here is Satan's tool on deception. It's one of the greatest tools because why? And it's like I was saying this in the beginning. It's evident that there is a God because all nations or all people create religions in a desire to want to connect with that God. So Satan said, you know what? Since I know that it's embedded in everybody's DNA to want to follow a God and serve a God, I'm going to give them their God. And their God is going to be me. Yeah? And that great dragon was cast out. That old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. So we can't just run past that. He's deceiving the world. So y'all need to be listening to this. If you are a Christian, if you are a Buddhist, hey, even if you're an atheist, because guess what? If you don't believe that there's a God, your God is Satan by default. It's crazy, right? Yeah, you didn't know. Because he gave you what? He gave you science. Science is the trying to work out of the things of this earth, trying to disprove God, trying to find out how things exist. That's science. That's the devil. That's Satan. It says, he deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So not only him himself, but his angels. So could it be possible that his angels, could it be possible that his angels are the gods of paganism? Are the idols in these different religions? Yes. They became gods on the earth. Let me scroll down what I really want to get. So it tells us in verse 15, the same serpent now, the devil and Satan, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman. Who is the woman? The woman is Israel. Fleeing from Roman persecution, fleeing from his sight, went into the wilderness, right? And the serpent cast out water out of his mouth as a flood after the woman. That what? That he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. To be carried away of the flood. Yes, the flood of all these religions, all of these different ideologies, trying to confuse the woman. And how many of us was raised in households where there was 3 different religions in one household? One is a Buddhist, one's an atheist, one's a Catholic, one's a Christian. right? But it says here, and the earth helped the woman. Yeah, like books like the book of Enoch, the book of Jubilees, the book of Jasher. These books, which were dug out of the earth or found in earthen vessels in caves, these records were brought out to dispel all of the lies that was told by these different religions. And the earth helped the woman. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. So we see that the flood is not just water. The flood out of his mouth was the different ideologies, the different understandings that he taught. Because why? His purpose was he came down and deceived the whole earth. We just read that. Part of that deception is the lies that he would tell. Hence, the wiles of the devil. Right? So we see, brothers and sisters, it's easy for us to be able to dispel the lies that was told through these religions. And it's even easier once you actually seeking out of the book of the Lord and reading. There's so, like I said, there's some people who say, "Yo, this is too much. I'm just gonna not follow anything to their own demise." That's not what I wanted to bring up, right? To their own demise. Right? So some people choose not to follow anything to, like I said, to their own demise. But is that the right thing to do? And another thing too is we gotta also understand that it's the Most High who sends Christ that chooses us. Now, what is our part in this? Our part in this is to, like what Christ said, you got to be a light. You have to be a light. There's no way you cannot be a light. You have to be a light. Hold on. Matter of fact, I was saying about I was talking about science. And I see y'all there in the chat in the Zoom. I'm bringing y'all in once again. And who's this on the screen? Who's this on the screen, y'all? Huh? The genius. Albert Einstein. A known atheist. And matter of fact, a lot of y'all didn't know this, but he's Jewish. Albert Einstein is Jewish. But he was an atheist. He did not believe in God. He openly stated his claims of how he did not believe in a God. There was one quote where he said that a belief in a God was the weak nature of a human or a weak nature of a man. He even wrote articles to defend his claim once it went public that he was an atheist. So it's because of guys like him, highly renowned scientists, esteemed for his intelligence in science, whatever that is, it's because of him that they hold his ideal to such a high standard. And he's able to convince those who's lovers of science as well to follow suit because he created the formula E equals MC squared. Can somebody calculate what E equal MC squared is? What is the math on that? And what does that even mean? I know there's some scientists that's watching right now. So if you're a scientist or a reformed scientist, please tell me, what does that formula mean? E equal MC squared. And he just came out of thin air and said, yeah, E equal MC squared. And that's like, and every show that you watch about a nerd, that have a nerd in there or a scientist, they always refer to that same formula. And I'm like, yo, what is that even? What is that? Did somebody say, by now, are you saying that E equals MC squared is light? Is that what you're saying? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me what E equal MC squared is, please. The speed of energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. Let me take my time. Hold on. Let me take my time. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. Energy equals mass of object times speed of light squared. Somebody else put that.
Bamboozled, ran amok, led astray.
Energy equals mass of object and speed of light squared.
Bamboozled, ran amok, led astray.
Now, what does that mean? And you see what I'm talking about? He could just come out of and this is what I don't like. A scientist could just come out of thin air and just create something and say, oh yeah, energy equals mass and times square and lights. And everybody like this, oh, it's amazing. So all I gotta do is just create something and have people behind me and saying it's amazing, and I'm gonna have a new theory out there. I'm gonna work on that too. Listen, for all the lovers of science, listen, there's nothing wrong with science, man. If you're using science for the right thing, then you know what I'm saying. But I can't. All right, so I'm gonna go to. I got Sister Diane Lewis. Can you hear me? Shalom. You got to unmute yourself.
Hello.
How you doing, Sister Shalom?
Shalom, Deacon. How you doing this evening?
I'm all right. I see you got your camera up.
Oh, yeah, I always do. I think it's fair. If I can see you, you can see me, right?
Okay, yeah. Matter of fact, let's let everybody see you. Oh, there we go.
Oh, snap.
There you go.
Now my camera's off.
All right. No. What's going on? So tell me.
Yes. So,
tell me about a time where, or the period of time where you were searching and the Most High had to remove you from the wiles of the devil.
So
we all have a story.
Yeah, I'm searching right now, right? So I get to go to my first GOCC actual Shabbat this Shabbat.
Oh, wow.
So yay.
All praises,
right?
all praises.
And my son was on the journey for 5 years. He was telling me just the same things that you were telling me, like there were things in the earth and this and that and then he started to narrow down, and the truth became more clear to me.
Okay, so let me not to cut you off. Let me ask you, what was your foundation before that?
Yes, so I was a Seventh-day Adventist.
Okay,
and but I had not gone to church for about 30 years.
Oh, you was backsliding.
Oh, yeah, but really, okay. The whole point is, were you backsliding if you didn't really have to do nothing?
So exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so the whole point, the thing that bothered me the most was when Matthew 7:21 through 23, when people were coming to him saying, Lord, Lord, didn't I do things? You know, because I felt like I was a good person. I got baptized. You know, people thought I was respectable. So I thought, you know, maybe I'll be all right. But that bothered me. No, telling you the truth, I did think I was going to hell. I didn't think there was a way that I could get around it. I knew something was missing.
So you knew something was off, because that's one of the one of the tenets of Christianity, where it tells you that listen, just focus on Jesus. Listen, don't worry about all the little things. He did that already. Just focus on him. But yet you could be a bad person outside of church, but that wouldn't matter.
Yeah, even though you knew better, right? You knew that there was a standard. And at one point when we were hot, like when we were Christians and we were hot, we were ready to correct everybody because we knew the standard, right? But then time after time, because we were surrounded by all these pagan scenarios, idols, whatever, it slowly washed me down to start accepting and tolerating a lot of gods, point blank, because it was baked in the cake. I didn't know that. So like you were saying, we were chosen. I fully don't understand that, but I accept it wholeheartedly. Because
wait, hold. When you say you fully don't understand that, what
like,
yeah, unpack
like,
that real quick.
well, you know, when you're chosen and like nothing came to me and said, "Hey, Diane, you are the one and you must be," and I don't have that feeling, but Yeshua just keeps guiding me back, or I ask questions and he just keeps guiding me to the next step.
Yeah, and that's the focus, because it's greater than being an Israelite. Christ is the greatest Israelite, so we are to be like Christ. So all those other things will work itself out, but as long as you got Christ there, you know, praise the Most High, and when He returns, He'll do the separating. He says
and that was my concern. I didn't really know Christ's name, and so when you go back to Matthew 7:21-3, I was integrating with some more members of the GOCC, and they were saying names, and then they were like throwing it at me like Jesus is wrong and all this stuff. There was no J and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about, because to me, you're coming way from the left. Like when I look back at that day, there was like, no, I will never do this. Whatever y'all are saying or doing, I will never do this. I don't see it anywhere in the Bible, what y'all are saying. But the Lord just kept working on me basically through Matthew 7:21. It's like, you don't even know me. And I'm like, okay, fair game. What is your name? And he just kept, and that's why I'm going to be, my first Shabbat will be with the GOC here in San Antonio.
All praises, all praises. And I think, didn't I speak to you about baptism?
You did.
Yeah, it was you. Yes, yeah. Okay. Well, praise the Most High. Listen, continue overcoming the wiles of the devil, because trust me, he's gonna try to throw a wrench in there. Okay, he's gonna try to throw a wrench. He's gonna try to show you information like, yo, you ever seen this? And try to draw you back and give you doubts. But I'm telling you, you're in good hands. Your son is in good hands. We're all in good hands. Follow Christ. Christ said, "My sheep hear my voice, and to another they will not follow." So as long as you're hearing Christ's voice, follow that voice. Right?
Amen.
All right. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I thank you for calling in and sharing that with us. All praises.
Thank you.
Praises. All right, and welcome again. Yes. All right, so we're gonna keep going. Praise the Most High for that. Beautiful testimony, beautiful situations going on over there. I see. Okay, I got all these people coming in. All right. I got Sis Jenny coming in. Shalom.
Shalom. How are you?
How you doing?
You mind if I don't put the camera on, because I'm prepared for bed?
Wait. First and foremost, you gotta mute us in the background.
Oh, I just did. Sorry about that.
Okay. Now you don't have to put the camera on. It's okay. If you have it on, I'm gonna throw you up there. If you don't, it's all good. All right.
I think you may remember me. Remember, I almost ran you over at the Passover.
Oh, that was you. Yeah, I forgot to get your license plate. I was gonna file a report against you.
I will be forever remembered by that. Yeah, but I was calling in to say I'm enjoying your show.
All praises, all praises.
I was calling like my thing like I grew up in a Pentecostal church,
Okay.
and we were like a strict Pentecostal church where Sunday was like the Sabbath, and we couldn't do nothing. Could a real strict one.
Mm,
But the thing is, when you grow up in that type, right, and you're young, you receive the right hand of fellowship when you're 12, and then they make you pray all night. But one thing that I could never do
mm.
is I could never speak in tongues. I could never accept that. My body wouldn't allow me to do it. My mouth wouldn't allow me to do it. You know how they could take you in a room and make you
Listen,
practice.
listen.
And,
I
and
know exactly what you're talking about because I grew up Baptist, and Baptist people, they didn't play no games. You couldn't do all of that shouting and running around in the Baptist church. You couldn't do that. My father would look at you.
Pentecostal, you could.
Pentecostal,
You be
yeah.
part of the flow.
Yeah. I was invited to a Pentecostal church I think it was some kind of youth explosion, whatever you want to call those things. And there was a guy up there doing the same thing, trying to teach people how to speak in tongues. And he came to me, put his hand on my stomach and said, just open your mouth,
Yeah, they take you in the back room.
just release it. I'm like, release what? This guy is I'm like, what? He said, just release it. I'm looking
Just
like,
release it. Go with the flow. Let the spirit come in you, right?
I
Let
was
that
like,
demon come in you.
yeah, I was like, yo, I'm out of here after this.
Yeah, but I grew up and I used to watch my mother because growing up in the church like the 70s and the 80s, back then you fall out, they put the
Yeah.
sheet on you and you watch it. I used to watch my mother and she would fall out and she was in the spirit of what was going on like the rest of them,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
And I used to be like, "Bah," I had to look at my mother on the floor and I couldn't receive it. So I knew something was different at that time.
Yeah. So something was going on. And
Something was going
praise the
on.
most high that whatever spirit was in that room jumping on people didn't jump on you. 'Cause
I don't know. It's just like I had a shield over me that
praises.
it couldn't penetrate. I couldn't even fix my mouth to try.
Listen.
I mean, I didn't know what was wrong with me.
Listen, don't even feel no way because you probably have been on this broadcast speaking in another language. I'm like, yo, who does this sister call
Oh my Lord!
right now? But praise the
Well, I
Most
was
High.
saved. Thank the Lord.
But see how the Most High took you from that. He
Yes,
sent the curve. And
yes,
now
and I thank him for that.
you're right on track.
Yes, I thank him for that because I love this church. I've been with this church since 2009.
All praises be to the Most
When
High.
I was in the first academy. I remember when they
Wow.
started, and I wouldn't give it up for nothing.
All praises. And look, see the Most High still got you. After
Oh
all
yes,
these years. See, because what you did, you stayed on the path and you seeking out of the book and you're reading.
yes,
You see,
yes,
and that's what actually keeps you. And that's the thing too. I want to say this for all the people who's new. Praise the Most High. There was a baptism that took place here in New York this past Sunday. We had 6 souls that got baptized,
Oh,
right?
glory.
And if there was other baptisms in other congregations, shout out to y'all as well too, and all of the leadership over there who's doing the work. But what I want to say to the people who's coming in and finding this information in now, right? Just to stay on that rock.
Stay,
The rock is Christ, right?
stay.
You're gonna hear a lot of interesting things. What the scripture calls itching ears. It says in the
Yes.
last days, many people will have that. But if you just stay on the foundation, stay where Christ led you, where he called you to,
Con.
stay there. You
And
be
it's
all right.
not easy.
It's not.
It's
Yeah.
not easy
You're
because I lost a marriage for
Oh.
becoming unequally yoked. I lost family members,
Mm.
for becoming unequally yoked with my family. It wasn't easy, but I'll tell you this: it was harder to stay than to lose dumb, because now that I see that this is it, and I wouldn't give this up for nothing.
All
It's
praises.
nothing. I've been through the test of times, and not saying I'm, not going to go through more, but it's nothing that I'm gonna give this up for. My church family is lovely. I'm in the South Carolina Orangeburg body,
All
and I'm
praises.
telling you, it just a meeting of the Passover, how beautiful it is. And then they are now starting to recognize. They put me through the test,
Oh yeah.
but now they starting to recognize.
All well, praise the Most High. Listen, praise the Most High. That you on solid ground. There's nothing for
Thank,
them to worry about.
thank you, and I enjoy your show, brother.
All
Appreciate you.
all praises. Just slow down in the parking lot next time. All right. Just I'm just teasing.
I ain't got no insurance now.
Listen, we got to pray about that.
Okay,
All right,
shalom.
shalom, my sister. Bless you. Oh man, oh man. Praise the Most High, man. I see you guys. Hold on, I'm about to bring in somebody else. You was waiting. I'm gonna bring you guys. I see you guys in the waiting room. I didn't forget you guys, right? But I'm gonna bring you. Oh my goodness! How can we forget this? I just had to push the button. I'm sorry. I had to push the button. We gotta find this week's stupor, man. It's getting extra stupor out there. Listen, if we don't find this thing, who will? Will we find the stupor of the week, brothers and sisters? This stupor right here, guys, is a crazy one. And you see, this stupor is so fitting for tonight's broadcast. If you get caught up in any of those religions, you will definitely be caught up in this week's stupor. Let me pull it up for you guys. This is unbelievable. Okay, all right, music, all right. Music is crazy right now. I just need to show y'all. I need to show y'all this. Huh? Hold on. I want to pull up the right video. As if. Hold on real quick. As if trying to find God wasn't enough. But guess what? Not only can you find God. Oh, wrong video. Not only can you find God, you can ask the Ouija board. Yeah, you heard right. You could ask the Ouija board. Amazon is selling this Ouija board to what? To talk to Jesus? You can't make this stuff up.
In Christ, let's talk. There is a lot of deception in this world. This world mocks God. This world is Babylon. There is no fear of God before their eyes. On Amazon, they're selling this a Ouija board to talk to Jesus. So here on Amazon, it's called the Holy Spirit board.
The Holy Spirit board. And you see, and this is the reason why they could do this. They could put stuff out like this because they know that people are not seeking out of the book and reading. When did Christ ever tell us to speak to him through a Ouija board? Yo, this is crazy. They got the nerve to call this thing the Holy Spirit board by Holy Spirit Games. Yo, we in the last days for real.
On Amazon, it's called the Holy Spirit board. If you scroll down, here it is. So here's the board game. It's like an Ouija board. And look at, if you see.
Oh my gosh, look at this. These are witches. Look. They're dressed in all black. They're witches.
See this picture right here. Look at the darkness of that. And then here you have the description. The Holy Spirit board is the only spirit board designed to directly contact our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Yo, you gotta be kidding me. And you see, people are gonna be falling for this thing, man. Because they're falling for the wiles of the devil. Like, yo, I always wanted to talk to Jesus, man. Yeah, just get the Holy Spirit board game. You be all right.
Unlike other spirit boards that are often used to contact ghosts and demons, this is a one-way ticket straight to heaven. Try it.
Yo, look at the play on words. Did y'all hear what this guy said? Look at the description. The Holy Spirit board is the only spirit board designed to directly contact our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It says, unlike other spirit boards that are often used to contact those pesky ghosts and demons, remember? This is a one-way ticket straight to heaven. Straight to hell? What do you mean? Try it today and discover a new way to pray. They even see, look, they even making a new way to pray. Christ already taught us how to pray. We don't need a new way.
It today and discover a new way to pray.
Blasphemy!
Before I close, let me read you a.
All right, thank you. Let me just put it back on this real quick. Look at this. Witches playing the Ouija, talking about some Jesus Christ. Yeah, Christians is yo Jesus. Look at Jesus' face. Look at Jesus' face on the board. I'm not playing that game. Look at his face. Look how scary he looks. That is not Jesus. Yo, look at Jesus' face, man. Oh, he looks scarier than Caesar Borgia. That's crazy because that's not even Caesar Borgia. That's something else right there. You can't make this stuff up, brothers and sisters. You really can't make this stuff up. Listen, we at the end right now. Okay? We are at the end right now. This is the end. All right? Curtains are closed. Okay? I don't know what these Gentiles is doing out here, but they doing a number on our people. Discover a new way to pray. Look at Jesus' face. I don't know why this is so funny to me. I wish I could make it bigger, but I can't make it bigger. Look at that thing's face. Yo, you gotta be out of your mind if you think you're talking to Jesus. You playing that thing. You not only you gonna need to bathe in the holy water, you're gonna need to drink the holy water after that. You're gonna need to drink the holy water. We talk about. Oh my goodness, these people are crazy out their mind, man. All right, let's go back to the calls, man. This is crazy. Listen, man, don't fall for the stoop out here, man. I'm telling y'all right now. I'm trying to help y'all. I'm really trying to help y'all. Why this thing's not pulling up? All right, here you go. All right, so let's see who we got next. Let's see who we got next coming in. I told y'all I was coming back with the stupor. I told y'all. All right. Matter of fact, I got, who I got now? Okay, I see you, Kwame, and I see Jordan. I see you too, Jordan. Hold on, let me put the. Can you hear me? You gotta unmute yourself.
Oh, Shalom, how are you?
Shalom, what's going on, sis?
Oh, not much, how are you?
Zayakwa, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm saying it right?
Yes, that was perfect.
Okay. Shalom, talk to me. How we doing?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm all right, can't complain. So talk to me. So tell me about a situation or a time where the Most High took you from the hands of the devil or the wiles of the devil.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think the running theme with everybody who's calling it tonight is about them being raised in what type of denomination they were raised in.
Right.
And the thing about me was that I was raised. There's not a word for me to explain this. I was raised denominationless.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because I went to so many different churches growing up because my mom was so like she really wanted to find
She was church
a
hopping.
place that taught. Sorry, can you hear me?
She was church hopping.
Oh yeah, but it was because she was looking for what we have now, and like you name a denomination, I was probably there at some point.
You serious?
Yes, sir.
Oh man. Okay, so up until
And I
how
know-
old were you when you was going through that?
It was pretty much my whole childhood up until I was 14, and I'm about to be 22 this year. So that's
All praises. So when you was 14, you came into the truth.
gone.
Okay, so let me ask you: were you confused going to all of these different churches? Like,
Oh my goodness, yes.
tell me about some of the confusions that you had.
Oh my goodness. So there was a lot of like that speaking in tongues thing because there was I'd been to like evangelist assemblies of God. So there was that speaking in tongues. We were under a Messianic Jew at one point, and we were at this church that I remember this very specifically. There was this pastor called all of the young people up and this was a very small church, and they were weeping for Tammuz in this church as well.
Oh yeah, almost
But
every
we didn't.
church, but yeah.
It was crazy, but he called us all up to the front and he looks at me and he goes, "When's your birthday?" And I said, "Well, this is when my birthday is." And he goes, "On this particular date, a door is going to close and y'all need to figure out what y'all are going to do, what choice you're going to make before this door closes." And I'm looking like, what in the world?
Right. Like what?
I was so confused. And after all of this, I didn't even want to, I was not all that pressed to come to GOCC. I was just like, oh, this is just another church. We're probably going to leave in like 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Because there's going to be something else that we don't like about it. And I just want to say, I'm not upset that we had done all this church hopping, because if we hadn't been doing all that, we wouldn't be here, like doing things right. So shout out to my mom for keeping us going, because I know she's watching right now.
All praise it. Listen, strong mom, yeah. And the persistence, right?
And I think the biggest thing that shook my faith before I came into GOCC, came into this truth, this took place about 6 months before I came to GOCC. I was still at this church with my grandma, and the pastor, it was a junior pastor that had come up that day to do a lesson on faith healing. And they called up this blind woman into the front of the church. We all knew she was blind. She'd been blind for years. And prayed over her for, I want to say 45 minutes. They're calling on Jehovah, trying to make her see, and like she didn't see. And back then I didn't really understand how the will of the Most High worked. And I was very much so like, well, dang, if God doesn't take away these infirmities from people, then what then, and he doesn't, and he's doing all, and there's all this wickedness going on in the world, then is he really there in the first place? And so by the time I came to GOCC, it was like, all right, well, they're probably going to say some other stuff or whatever, like that's not going to make no sense to me at this point because of all the stuff I've heard. But there was just something different about GOCC. Like once that lesson was over, I vividly remember not wanting to leave.
Oh wow!
I was just like this. I was like, is this?
You knew, right?
This, I think I knew then, like this wasn't gonna just be like any other church that I'd been to, and like I'd been to a lot, probably about, I want to say 10 churches.
That's a lot.
Before I was 14. So it was like, wow, like finally hearing something that made sense, and people talked about things up front, like what the Bible really said and what really made sense about it all. But what I didn't know was that after I came to the truth, I was gonna be tested by the world outside of the church.
Yeah.
And that's a story for another time.
Yeah, but well, praise the Most High that excuse me, praise the Most High that the Most High kept you from all of those 10 churches, man. Good Lord, I could imagine, all of the different styles of teaching and the way service is being ran. It could take a toll on someone young at your age. It turns you off from church, and praise the Most High that the Most High or Christ kept you to hear His voice when you came to the church. So praise the Most High for that.
Con, I'm so grateful because I don't even know where I'd be at this point if I had really been turned off by that.
All praises,
because it was crazy. I've seen a lot of interesting stuff. I got lots of stories.
Yeah, but praise the Most High that He kept you, because if He didn't, you'd probably be playing that Ouija board thing.
I seen that and I was like, what is going on? No, but seriously, can I actually tell you something, Deacon?
This guy is crazy. Well, yeah, go ahead.
I looking back on experiences that I had in the church that I stayed at the longest in that time span, if I hadn't found this truth and really learned my place as a woman and how I'm supposed to function as a woman, even in the ministry and in the church, I probably would have been a pastor by now.
Wow, a woman's pastor at that.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
I had written on when I had gotten baptized into this Assemblies of God church, and I had written this real long note as to why I wanted to be baptized. And I remember the pastor reading it out loud and looking at the audience like, we need to get this girl on the pulpit one day.
Oh, you would have been the pastor up in that church. I'm telling you right now. You probably be calling in debating me right now.
Oh Lord. I wouldn't want to be doing that.
But praise the Most High, the Most High kept you, and you here with us. All praises.
Con, it's amazing. I wouldn't want to ever go back and change that. God. And just knowing the stuff I know now, like even there's just no turning back from this.
No, definitely not.
In any circumstance. There's from after this, for me, there's nowhere to go but down. Like it's been a ride. I'll tell you that, because Satan is trifling.
Listen, and it's going to continue being a ride.
Oh yeah, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't ever want to leave this walk. It's so.
Well, praise the Most High. Praise the Most High.
All praises to the Most High.
All right, my sis. So I'm gonna put you back in the queue, and I got 2 more right now after you. So yeah, I appreciate you calling in.
At the water for having me. When are we doing the Gen Z?
Listen, we gonna do it. I didn't forget. We gonna do it. Trust me. I'm working out some kinks with some of the younger brothers in the church, and once we iron that out, trust me, I'm hitting you up and all of the other people up. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll praise
the water for having me, Deacon. I appreciate you.
The water for keep reminding me too. Cause I would forget.
Every week.
Yeah. All praises. All right, my sister.
All right. Shalom.
All right. We got Jordan. After Jordan, I got Kwame. Shalom.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You got your camera up? Oh, got him. Hold on. We got him. All right. Yeah. We got him. Hold on. Where'd it go?
Oh, I see you. See you on TV.
All right. Hold on. I gotta do it better now. Hold on. I'll make this bigger. All right, here you go.
They good. They ain't gotta see me all the way. They good.
All right, what's going on, Jordan? Shalom.
Shalom, Deacon. Shalom.
How's everything going?
Hey, I can't complain. I cannot complain at all.
All right, all praises.
I just wanted to ask you a question. I'm gonna try not to keep you too long, because I'll be talking and then I get there. I won't stop. So
go ahead.
We just started 2018. My stepdad, he had told me we was setting up my projector screen, I was rather spoiled when I was now that was beside the point. But he had told me you don't know the people in the Bible, they talking about you. And then I was like, okay, cool, that's nice. God love you, you his favorite. And I'm just like, okay, appreciate that. Now fast forward to 2021.
Okay.
I'm my mama started, what is it? Implementing that we keep the Sabbath. We was doing it wrong. We still learning or whatever.
Right.
We still learning. So, it'll be sometimes, I'll be like, dang, I forgot to take the trash out. And then trash overflowing in the kitchen, and I'm just like, oh, God.
Can't take it out.
Look, it's fit to get to having flies around. So I was still learning, and I was also watching. I don't know if I can say the brother's name. Well, I mean, his name was Mike Malice. His name was Mike Malice. He would bring, he would come on every Friday night, and me and my mom and my stepdad would study him, right?
Okay.
So we was, like I said, we was learning, and at the same time, when I started my job at Water Tree, this sister, my beautiful sister, she like my grandma now. She came in, she's telling me like about GLCC, and I'm just like, yeah, she's telling me about GLCC. At the same time, I'm watching old dude, and I was also watching this other lady, but it's like I would watch her whenever I'd get scared, because she was like, the Most High's name, Ahaya, and then Shaba, my sister Shaba, she come in, she was like, preaching the same thing, and I was just like, okay, so these two kind of connected,
right?
So I was like, I wonder if she part of the body. And sister Shaba, she always came in and then, dropping some knowledge, some wisdom. She was being my wisdom to me. And then her grandson started working there, and I was just like, you remind me of somebody, sir. And they little did I know them those two were related, and I was just like, okay, see, he bringing the same wisdom that the nice young lady is bringing me. Not the nice young lady, but like,
right.
He's bringing the same info that Shaba's bringing me, and it's been about 2 years before I had joined the body. She came in that whole time. Wow. She's saying, "Hey man, you need to come on."
Right.
And I'm just like, I got trust issues. I don't want nobody know where my house is. I'm just like, just toying with her. Like, if we're being completely honest, now that I look back, I was just toying. Right. It felt good what she was saying, but I was just like blowing it off. And then at the same time, I picked up, what is it? Morrison was just coming in. I picked up a smoking habit. I picked up, everything, I guess. But like,
you started picking up
Mm-hmm.
habits while you was learning the truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was picking. But the biggest one was the smoking habit.
So how did you overcome that?
Honestly, I started coming into the body. I started coming into the body. I was still like at the beginning of my walk, I was still, going home, hit the blunt a little bit, and then I'm gone.
Right.
And like I'm Elder was talking about me, and I'm just like, Elder talking about me. So that's really how I stopped being lukewarm and stuff. That's not the way, because I ain't want to get spewed out. And now, and it's been a little battle. I've overcome it. I'd say I've overcome the smoking habit. That's just because I feel like Elder was talking about me though, because I was like, come on, why you talking about me? He said, there was one time he was like, you come in, shalom, and then you going on back to the world and stuff like that. So that's pretty much how I came into the body.
But praise the Most High, because you know what you just showed there? Mm-hmm. You just showed that when you come into the body, when you actually come into the fold now you have a obligation now to walk circumspectly now. Now, now you have other people who's holding you accountable, and not just that. You're gonna stick out like a sore thumb if everybody around you is righteous, and you faking the funk. So you have to switch up your game. So and that's what that's what joining the body actually does. And the people who's afraid to come into the body is because I already know there's issues that you're dealing with, and you don't want it to be exposed, but you want that to be exposed, so that way Christ could heal you properly. So you just showed that when you come into the body, it actually helps heal you, helps correct, certain negatives about your life. It helps you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Especially after baptism. That's why the scriptures command us not to forsake the assembling of ourselves together. That's a very important thing. So I commend you for that, brother, and I thank you for sharing that.
Yes, sir.
All praises, all praises.
Yes, sir. Shalom.
Shalom, my brother. Thank you for calling in, man. I appreciate your time.
Oh, Thwada for having me.
All praises, all praises. My brother, Jordan. Clap it up for my Yeah. You see? That was very powerful. Like little did he know how powerful that was. Right? Hold on real quick. Yeah, little did he know how powerful that was. How him coming into the fold, it actually helped him kick off bad habits like smoking and all of the other stuff that he probably was dealing with. But praise the Most High that he had the courage to see that, okay, all right, I'm off. Let me correct myself. Instead of looking at everybody else like, no, you wrong. No, you wrong. But he did the right thing. He looked at himself and like, nah, I'm wrong. Right? So praise the Most High. All right, let me go to the last caller here. We got Brother Kwame here from Ghana, right?
Right.
All praises. Ghana is in the house. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
What's going on, Brother Kwame?
Shalom, Beacon.
All right. So tell me, I know you over there. How long you been part of the church at Ghana over there?
All right. I think, Deacon, your story and mine have some similarities because I was also a Baptist,
Grew up Baptist?
Yes, Baptist.
Yeah.
10 years. I was an interpreter in the church for 10 years. A Sunday school teacher and a Sunday school coordinator as well.
Wow.
You know something? I had a doubt in my mind because what I read in the Bible is not what we do or what we actually teach in the church. And as Sunday school teacher, I always have to prepare a lesson and go and teach in Sunday school.
Yeah.
And at times, it becomes difficult for me to prepare lesson. Why? Because you have to think about stories which will interest the members. So at times it became a trouble for me at Sundays. And one day, I came back from work, switched on my cell phone data, and something just popped up, the true name of the Most High. And I said,
While you were searching?
Oh, yes, because I knew that something was wrong. Because when I read the Bible, what I see in the Bible is not what we actually teach or do in the church. So I was a bit inquisitive to know what the true name is, because actually I thought I knew the name already, because back then we used to call Jehovah, Yahweh, all those names. So right. I said, the true name of the Most High, I think we know the true name anyway. Let me find out what this true name is. And lo and behold, I opened it and it was Elder Rocker and Elder Lawyer teaching the true name of the Most High.
And about what year you would say this was?
That was 2016.
2016, okay.
Yeah, 2016. So, in fact, I wanted to grab every word they were saying. So, I watched the video 3 times the same night. So what? Wow. So I began to download some of the old videos. I downloaded a lot of videos. And my wife was also, she's also a Christian. Her father is a pastor, a Baptist pastor.
Wow.
So I told her, I think we have to think about something. And I said, what? Then I showed her the video. And I said, you know what? I think we have to start practicing what is in the Bible. That day was Tuesday. I remember it very well. It was Tuesday. So the next Sunday, I went to church. And as I told you earlier on, I was an interpreter. So from English to our local language, Twi or Akan. So as an interpreter, I'm supposed to go on the pulpit. But that day, I don't know what came over me. I decided to sit back because I didn't feel like going to stand on the pulpit and talk or speak. They called me and I said, no, today I'm not feeling well, so I want to stay back. So after we closed the church, I told my wife, you know what? I'm not going there again.
Just like that.
I'm not going to the church. Yes, that's it. I'm not going there again. Initially, she didn't understand me well, but I stayed home and she went twice. And he came and said, I think I have to believe what you are saying. So then after about 3 weeks later, our senior pastor came home to me because I stayed home twice and he came home with and one of our elders. He came home to me and they asked me the reason why I'm not coming to church. And I told him, Pastor, I want to do what is written in the Bible. I want to worship the Most High on Sabbath day. And he told me, who is telling me this? And I said, no, nobody is telling me, but the Bible is saying it. And I asked him a question, simple question. I said, Pastor, well, I know that you were a pastor for so many years. Can you tell me when the Most High or Christ switched the Sabbath day to Sunday? And he said, that is not written in the Bible though, but the church fathers sat down and they decided to, gather on Sundays. Right. So I asked him, so who were those church fathers? Because I knew that Peter didn't do it, Andrews didn't do it, James, neither John, nor Paul. So who were those church fathers? So eventually he was quiet and he told the other man who was with him that I think he has made up his mind, so we can't do anything. So let's go. They stood up and went.
Oh, so they just gave up on you.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
They gave up on me.
That's
One
usually
thing
what
is that,
happens. Yeah.
yes, I was a vice youth president in our church.
Oh wow.
They took me down from our WhatsApp group. Yes, and they told people that they have now joined an OCOS group. So when he started saying things, I was laughing. I said, yeah, because I thank the Most High that He took me out from those religion, because sometimes when you are in it, you can't really see the danger in it until you come out. Then your eyes will open.
Yeah, right.
And you can see it clear. You can see what it is. So I thank the Most High for giving me this truth, and through the Spirit of the Most High. Last 2 years, the elders were here to baptize us, Elder Shapat and Elder Gaja, and Deacon Dale came all the way from United States to baptize us. So we thank the Most High that I'm now part of the great church, the Garden of Praises. I'm so proud.
All praises, and we're happy to have you, my brother. I know you're gonna do great works out there. You're gonna do a lot of work. And I can tell that, you're very studied and you have a fervent spirit. So continue following. Don't ever look to the left. Don't ever look to the right. Follow Christ.
Absolutely.
My brother Kwame. My brother.
And I really appreciate your work that you do. I really appreciate you. May the Most High be with you and bless you, brother.
Thank you. The water. Praise the Most High. I appreciate your support. All right, my brother. Always great having you when you call in, man.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Tawada.
Let's keep in touch.
All right.
Brother.
Tawada.
Yes, sir. My brother Kwame. Definitely. I think I got one more. We have one more caller. Let me see. I had somebody. Yeah, I have one more in the queue. I'm about to admit him now. got one more in the queue. Nah, I don't see him. Hold on. All right. I see you.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom. What's going on, Ak?
Nothing much. I'm trying to shut you off my TV.
I don't hear it in the
nothing.
background, but I could hear and see you from here.
Okay, Khan. Shalom. How you doing, Deacon?
How you doing, bro? I'm blessed by the best.
Yes, we are.
So talk to
praise
me.
the Most High. So what exactly was the question? I
You
know that people
don't
are
know
giving
the
their testimony.
question, brother. You don't know the question.
I know that brothers are giving their
All right.
testimonies about how they came to the truth.
No,
but I
it's
know that you're
basically what I want to get from the brothers and sisters is just to tell us about a situation where the Most High saved you from the wiles of the devil. Like he was heading into a direction and then he just snatched you up and like, all right, this is where I need you to be.
Okay. So in this walk, in the beginning of my walk, I always told myself that when I have a child, I'll quit and I'll do what I'm supposed to do.
When you have a child?
Yes. So this is a very selfish thing, I believe, and I've come to understand that it was selfish on my part. It's like, when you give me what I want, I'll do what you want. Very, very selfish, very self-centered, and that's what I did. I wanted a child. I knew that was something that was going to make me get on the straight and narrow. And my father is my best friend still to this day. We don't talk every day, but that young man, as a young boy, like, you have this desire to want to be with your father, want to be with your dad, do everything that he does, learn from him. And I always told myself that I would never leave my child, like I would never, I'm going to be the best dad that I could ever be. And lo and behold, the Most High pulled that card in 2019. I had already understood that we were the people. I understood that Christ was a so-called black man, and I understood certain things, but I wasn't holding them as I didn't have validity. They didn't hold any value to me other than I had that knowledge. So I didn't have the understanding of what that actually meant. The Bible says, with all that getting, get understanding, and keep her and forsake her not, but in 2019, I was sitting on the couch next to one of my friends that I grew up with. I've been in a lot of trouble with throughout the course of time, and he was sitting next to me. We were drinking, and my wife now, but girlfriend at the time, she came out of the bathroom from taking a pregnancy test, and she tossed the pregnancy test at me. I looked at it. I started to cry. I looked at my best friend. Can you turn that light back on, please? I looked at my best friend, and thank you. I looked at my best friend at the time, and I looked at him and I said, this is one of the last times we'll probably be sitting here doing this together. And from there on, I got into the Narcotics Anonymous program.
Oh, wow.
We were seeking to get a house because that was the next move. Okay, I'm having a child. I need a house for my family. So I strove, working hard as I could, borrowed some money from family, got the down payment for a house. Next thing you know, the Most High put us in the house. And I was in the back room praying to Yah and Yahweh. And 2 weeks later, just asking that he bless the house and that he protect us and that I want to serve him. And two weeks later, there's this brother that I went to high school with in New Jersey. He and we used to be in the studio over there, hanging out, making music or whatever. But there's the brother that owned the studio. He always had a Bible on his couch, and I always knew I could trust him. So I started diving into Illuminati videos. I started getting scared, but I knew I could talk to him. And I went over there. Long story short, he told me I'm giving it too much power. But that started me on that trail to find out who we were at that time.
Right.
But nonetheless, fast forward, I was prayed over the house or whatever, and 2 weeks later, this brother's on Facebook calling the Most High Ahia. So I messaged him and I was like, "Why do you call him Ahia?" I was like, "I call him Yah and Yahawashai. I want to know."
Right.
And he said, "Go to Exodus chapter 3:13." And we read it, and I've been listening and watching the elders ever since, and I'm not looking back. And I got two beautiful sons, a beautiful wife, married into the church, baptized into the church. And there's a work here, like you say all the time. You talk about the talents, and you talk about, you were actually one of the first persons I spoke to in the church who led me to be able to get baptized. And that's one of many stories of how the Most High just turned my life completely around. Wow. And it was off of a selfish thing, but he still pulled that card and was like, "Are you sure this is what it's going to take?" And one thing I could say today is that my children have more than I've ever had in my whole entire life. Not to say that I had it horrible by any means, but they definitely have the truth. Like one thing, my youngest son, he can say just about every elder's name in the church because he's always like, "You listen to Elder Ricard, Daddy?"
Wow.
And oh yeah, when I'm watching certain movies, I'll be watching the movies like, "Why aren't you watching Elder Ricard, Daddy? You should be watching."
Oh wow!
Like, you should be watching Elder Ricard, Daddy.
These kids are really smart. I ain't gonna front, but just like your children, my children too. Like I look at them and I'm like, wow, look, they're blessed beyond what I could even imagine to give them. But
yeah,
that's what the Most High promised He would do once we come back to Him. Yeah.
And I believe that the kingdom, we do what we're supposed to do. The kingdoms when we're going to be straight translated to them. Like, and maybe, who knows, maybe their children.
Yeah.
But that's what, like what happened when the children made it into the promised land. And I'm not saying that the parents on this end of it isn't going to make it in, but I'm just saying, like, we have to do what we can do now for them, to bolster them against the evil to come, but also to receive those promises of Abraham and for our fathers, because they're the ones, man. That's all I can say is they're the ones. It's for them.
So with that being said, that means we have a greater responsibility to hold a fort and to stay on that straight and narrow, and to continue to overcome the wiles of the devil, so that way they can get in. If not us, right. You know what I'm saying? We got to make a path for them. So, praise the Most High. The Most High led you through that journey, and He's still leading you through a journey. All of us. He's still leading all of us through a journey. And we just going to continue to give Him thanks, because we're going to see the outcome. Like, we're seeing the outcome every time He brings us through a certain situation or another level. We see where He's bringing us and what is He doing. And as a father, how He's leading us and really taking care of us, man. So praise the Most High for that.
And I think that what Brother Brandon brought out, and what you said about the accountability piece that the body holds us to, it's pivotal, and that's why it's so important for brothers and sisters to understand that you're being called to a work, but you're also being called to Christ's body. The work is on ourselves, and I have a officer that always talked about how, when we come amongst the body, we can't bring all that extra stuff, because we're only as strong as our weakest link.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So we have to, that accountability piece is like, are we checking up on our brothers? Are we holding each other accountable in that aspect, and knowing why we're here, and the purpose of why we're here is to sharpen ourselves after Christ.
Yeah.
And I think that just understanding that the body is where it's at, is the strength that is going to help us, because there's times over where I feel like, like I'm just the most horriblest person for the shortcomings where I fall short and stuff, but it pushes me to be better. And if anybody out there is feeling like that, where, you're lacking or you're falling short in certain areas, don't stop going, because that's where you're going to get the healing. Don't stop being a part of the body, because also I know that people can, like, the devil will use that to push you away.
Yeah.
And the Most High wants you to draw closer and closer to him so that you can be healed.
Yeah.
So don't let your inadequacies or your shame or where you're falling short push you away from the body, but know that the help is in amongst the body.
Yeah.
And I'll yield with that. I think that's pivotal, because it's helped me so much in enduring through where I am not yet whole.
Well, the water for that, all praises to the Most High. For those words of encouragement, and for your example as well too, because you're not the only one. You're not the only one who's going through it, who's going through things. There's other people who's going through it, and somebody out there needed to hear what you had to say. So I praise the Most High that you called in and you shared that. Praise the Most High, and like you said, the body, there's help there. I was hoping that you was going to say that, but you did say it. The body, there's help. So if you're dealing with something, it's okay that you're dealing with something, but don't just deal with it and keep it to yourself.
Right.
Seek help. And when the help comes, accept the help and change. Help change yourself. Don't just listen to what we got to say and be like, all right, and then go back into your same old ways, old habits. Because I've seen it happen time and time and time again. But you as the person who's seeking the help, you must have the mental fortitude. That's the word I want to use. You got to have the fortitude to be like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I'm taking a stand. I'm taking a stand right now. And today's the last day that I'm gonna say this is my last day.
Right, because that is something that kept me bound for many days and many years. Was, I'll change tomorrow.
Right.
I can do it tomorrow.
Exactly. Tomorrow's not even promised.
Right, absolutely.
You see that?
And that's how you know you've deceived yourself.
Yeah.
One last thing, I know I said I yield, but the Bible says that we should confess our faults one amongst another so that we can be healed. And that is where the body comes into play. And at times we get shy. At times we, that shame does get on us, where we're like, we think that whatever we could conjure up in our minds to not do it, and that it just holds us back further. And I'm a witness of it.
Yeah.
So,
well, the water for that. Thanks for sharing that, my brother. Appreciate
yes,
you calling in. It's always a pleasure.
Oh yeah,
my brother. Shamwa Allah.
Hey, bless you, Deacon, and all the other deacons and bishops out there in New York. You guys do a wonderful work, and may the Most High continue to keep you, bless you, and increase you.
The water. All praises, my brother.
Yes, sir. Shalom.
Shalom. My brother. Yeah. So, once again, brother, sister, I really do appreciate everybody calling in and sharing their examples and making this stream what it was. I really do appreciate it. Let me take this off the screen. No more Zoom link. Right? But yeah, brothers and sisters, I hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast. I hope you guys were able to take something from this And if you now coming in, just watch the replay. It's a great, insightful show. You want to tune in, you want to watch it, you want to actually share this with people as well too, because listen, we all need to overcome the wiles of the devil. We all need it. And we're going to need to continue, because they're coming up with clever ways on deceiving the masses. Huh? Holy Spirit, Jesus board. What do you want to call this? I just can't stop looking at this picture. Look at this guy's face. Right? They finding a way. So if we don't hold the fort down, your children gonna be playing this game. I'm talking to Jesus. Okay? So we gotta be very careful. We gotta be diligent, and we gotta understand what this is about. It's a war. It's a war between light and dark, good and evil. Satan versus the Most High. Choose a side. And if you're confused because there's so many different religions, try our God. Try the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Pick up the Holy Bible and start reading. Matter of fact, continue following this church. Continue following our broadcast, and maybe you can learn. Ask the Most High to open up your understanding so he could show you who he is. It tells us that he that believed that the Most High, he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Not, I'll get to him when I get to him. Nah, diligently. Right? So I'm going to leave you all with that. I appreciate you guys, but like all good things, this good thing must also come to an end. So I thank you guys for coming in. I really appreciate you guys. Man, what a great show. Continue to share, like this broadcast. If you new to this channel too, also subscribe to this channel, GOCC Media. Right? Thank you guys for your participation. Oh man.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're now tuned into the Born of Levi Experience.
Yeah, so this was the Born of Levi Experience here on GOCC Media. I am your host once again, Deacon Hazak, right? And I thank you guys for coming in. I'll see y'all next week. You guys enjoy tomorrow, the Sabbath. But first and foremost, have a blessed day tomorrow. Have a good day, Sabbath prep day, right? If you're going to work, if you're staying home, if you're going to school, make sure you get everything in order before the sun go down. Try as much as possible to do that, right? And enjoy the Sabbath. If you're gathering, praise the Most High. If you're not gathering and you're still on the fence, try to find a way to gather. I don't know how else I can tell you guys, but you want to join the body. You want to join your brothers and sisters. You want to be amongst like-minded people to help encourage you to do the right thing, right? Well, enjoy, and Most High willing, I will see you all next week. Next week. If it be the Most High's will, if I have found favor in His sight to still be here in front of you. But once again, you guys have a good night. Bless you all. Stay prayed up, sin not. I love you all. Continue praying for me. I'll pray for you. Shalom. Peace and blessings. I'm out of here. Peace.